We are here at the Puerto Rico Manufacturers Association's annual convention, and I'm joined by Juan Aguayo-Leal, who is the Puerto Rico director for the LIFT initiative, which is a
That's right.
DoD NIMI. And we're just really excited, Juan, that your organization is on the island. We think it's just going to really herald a lot of new opportunities for the manufacturers here. So could you first of all tell us a little bit about the history of LIFT in Detroit, which is, I know, where LIFT started, and its role at the Department of Defense and NIMI?
By all means, first, thank you, Gail, for the wonderful opportunity to address your audience and to participate in this most important event, and also to the Puerto Rico Manufacturers Association for this opportunity. As a matter of, just so you know, LIFT has already requested the documentation to become a corporate member of the association. So expect to have more participation from us in future events.
Wonderful.
Sure. LIFT, the letters LIFT, L-I-F-T, they stand for Lightweight Innovations for Tomorrow. Not to be confused with the competition for Uber, which is LYFT. So we are established in Detroit, in Michigan, since 2014 as a Department of Defense supported manufacturing innovation institute. LIFT is a national nonprofit public-private partnership serving as a liaison between the federal and local governments, the industry, and the academia. And our mission is to accelerate smarter manufacturing between materials, processes, systems, and talent. Our main mission is to drive American manufacturing to the future. So you can see us as a pivot point between the academia, the industry, and governments, and what is required to maintain smart manufacturing ongoing. We help engage all those organizations to create new projects, new developments, and new opportunities for advanced manufacturing. In Detroit, we're located in a 100,000 square feet facility, and we have over $100 million worth of equipment over there.
We can see it behind you. It looks beautiful.
Oh, this is a picture. You see behind me is an actual picture of part of our site. And what we have equipment there that is available to all organizations that are located in Puerto Rico through our LIFT ecosystem, which I'll explain further down the road. And we're going to have part of that equipment also here in Puerto Rico in the facility where we're going to be located. We also have what we call the LIFT ecosystem, which is a membership-based program where organizations from a single research person at an educational institution all the way up to large enterprises can become members of the ecosystem and share ideas and share opportunities for research and development in our facility in Detroit. And we also are part of a network of other innovation institutes. So think of it as if you have an idea that you want to create, you want to prototype, we are part of a full network of organizations sponsored by the Department of Defense, some by the Department of Energy, and some by the Department of Commerce to make things happen, to really create opportunities in economic development.
That's super exciting. We actually, with the PR5G zone, what we say is just like there's software as a service, SaaS, there's a lab as a service, LAAB, and there LAAS, and then there's also collaboration as a service. So
yes.
CAAS. Yes. And so it sounds like you follow that same model. So now the exciting thing is that you started in Detroit. You have gained, such a strong national reputation there for your work. Talk a little bit about the transition back to Puerto Rico, which again is very exciting for Puerto Rico to be part of your network.
Yes, that's an excellent question. In about 2 years ago, there was a request from the Department of Defense and some organizations in Puerto Rico, most of them related to the aerospace industry, to examine the possibility of having a satellite site here so we can engage and provide them with equipment in areas where we can further develop the workforce. So the LIFT and the Department of Commerce of Puerto Rico, we signed an agreement where we're getting funds to help expand these opportunities. But we're also going to be in a facility located in the metro area. Out of respect to the landlord of the facility, which was created with EDA funds, we cannot disclose the location yet, but we're going to be in this facility. It's a 3-story, 33,000 square feet facility. In the first floor, we'll have a full lab for training and workforce development and research. There are areas to lift is going to be engaging. A local mission in this facility in Puerto Rico will be to help create and train, create and gets people to get trained to create a robust pipeline, talents, certified talents to fill in the gaps of some of the companies that are located here that need personnel to expand the opportunities. But it's going to be a full functional R&D lab. So if an organization in Puerto Rico wishes to do training or needs to do research, our local lab in local Rico, in connection with the one we have in Detroit, you can imagine the possibilities of just creating something from the mind to an actual part that can be created.
Wonderful. And I know we are very excited about partnering with you. We had that conversation. So again, you've got the great picture behind you of all the equipment. You know, it's really a lot of hardware that is part of a factory, a plant environment.
Yes.
Our lab is really about kind of the more unseen, nebulous piece of communication and new communication capabilities. One of the things we've talked about, and I'd like to get your a little more information from you too on what that would mean in terms of our manufacturers who are watching today. But we've talked about that intersection between our capabilities and your capabilities, and how do you see that working in the future, and specifically around, I know one of the top areas is private 5G networks within plants. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Yes, certainly the demand for advanced technology skills is increasing dramatically, particularly with the 5G networks and beyond, including artificial intelligence. So what we envision with your organization in Puerto Rico to really be at the forefront for R&D that can help not only Puerto Rico, the region, but from Puerto Rico to the world, combining our capabilities. By all means, we have tremendous talent here, and we just need to help get trained and certified so we can expand more opportunities for them. Through our ecosystem that we have in Detroit, which will be available to organizations over here, any new idea that is thought of, we can engage to make that idea a reality. We identify funds in different ways, whether our Department of Defense publishes an RFP and they have funds to hire local companies in Puerto Rico, we can help with that. Or we have our own funds that we can detect an opportunity and we will hire the local company to help us expand that. Or a particular organization finds an opportunity from the Department of Defense and we can serve as a liaison to help them through the ecosystem, prepare proposals, do the research, etc. So what the organization you represent is it's just perfect tying to what our business objectives are for the region. I really appreciate your confidence in our programs.
Awesome. Yeah, no, we're excited because most people don't know that Puerto Rico, and the reason why our lab is so important is it's the only communication-based laboratory in the U.S. because of the unique position of Puerto Rico being both a U.S. jurisdiction and kind of 1 foot international. It's the only place where we have a laboratory that's the convergence of foreign and domestic networks, terrestrial, non-terrestrial, cooperative and non-cooperative. So from a global manufacturing perspective, it allows entities to really look at where those convergences are, and more importantly, and I'm sure this is really important to the work that you're all doing, the security around those convergences. So we're really looking forward to working with you on that. And again, uniquely being in that position. And we are also, you know, as you know, the Department of Defense is very interested in that capability.
Let me, if I may, let me commend you on your timing, perfect timing for this. As you know, the government of Puerto Rico just published the RFP for spaceport in Roosevelt Roads Naval Air Station. And part of the program for Roosevelt Roads includes launching of vehicles to put satellites in space. Satellites need communication. So by virtue of you having your organization that will emphasize in telecommunications, advanced research in all these areas, it's a perfect example of how lived with your organization and the spaceport can really expand opportunities not only for R&D, but for the commercial of the of space business, if you will. So good
Exactly.
timing.
I actually have, it is, and I actually have the honor of having been appointed by the governor to be on that committee for that reason.
Yes.
Recognize that
Yes.
commercial opportunity that we all
Yes.
use on a day-to-day basis. That's really important to everybody. Sometimes
Yes.
spaceports can seem futuristic, and they're not really. They're things we use every day. So
That's right.
thank you. This has been such a great conversation, and I know we're kind of running out of time a little bit, but I wanted to open the mic for you to say, what's one thing that you want the manufacturers of Puerto Rico to know about Lyft as they start to engage with you as an organization and recognize the value you bring?
Excellent. Two things. Number one, we already started in Puerto Rico a program that is called Operation Next. This is a DoD sponsored program with funding, and we are training current and former military in areas that can fill in the pipelines for the different companies in Puerto Rico. We started with welding, and we're going to be providing also certifications in CNC machining, industrial maintenance technicians, and industrial robotics. This is paid by the Department of Defense to get certifications so we can start filling in the pipeline for those gaps. So that's one. And number two, I encourage everyone to visit our website, lift.technology. Lift.technology. You'll be able to see all the different programs that we have. Look for a button that says virtual tour. Just click it, go with a mouse. You can use it with your hand and your phone. You can actually go inside our facilities and you get an idea of the type of facility we envision to have here in Puerto Rico. So as a summary, I really appreciate this opportunity. I'm sorry because of an agenda, but by all means, PRMA, the 5G organization, you can count with Lyft. You can count on me to whenever you need me.
Wonderful. Well, again, thank you for your time today. We are so happy you're on the island. We're so happy
Thank
to
you.
engage with you, and we look forward to more conversations in the future.